Folks, welcome back to the shop. It is time for the SubaNews for the last couple days of March, first couple days of April 2026. We're here with you today. Subaru's announced a couple new models. We have sales figures for March 2026 and a couple other little interesting Subaru tidbits for you. We're going to dive into it. Before we do, just want to say make sure you like, subscribe, hit that hype button if you see it. And if you haven't picked yourself up one of these cool BRZ GT3 shirts, they're available on our website, and there's a link here in the video somewhere. Check it out. We got a lot of cool merch, and we're working on even more stuff, so stay tuned for that. All right, let's dive into it. First and foremost, let's start with the Subaru sales numbers for March 2026. It was a decent month for Subaru. WRX sales, let's start there. 1,273 WRXs sold in March, which is a little bit up from February. Again, compared to what we were seeing at the end of last year, that's a pretty good result for the WRX sales, but it is down compared to March of last year, though that was before the price increase in 2025. BRZ sales, 288 units sold. For the year to date, 2026, we are actually up 0.1% in BRZ sales, which is one single BRZ, but hey, a win's a win, so BRZ seems to be doing all right. Solterra, this is an interesting one. 1,736 units sold in March. And again, there's no rebates, there's no discounts or anything like that. It's just, that's how many Solterras were sold. Ironically, if you add the WRX and BRZ sales numbers together, it's about 1,500 cars. The Solterra outsold the WRX and the BRZ combined. So really interesting how Subaru is moving into this EV space, which relates to the new cars coming up, which we're going to get to. But the last thing I want to say is right now, Forester is the only Subaru that is up year to date 2025 compared to 2026. People love their Foresters, so that kind of makes sense. Hopefully, with some of these things that are coming out soon, that we'll get some improvements in sales of the Crosstrek, the WRX, that sort of thing. But we're just gonna have to wait and see what's happening with Subaru, and that's why we're gonna stay on top of these numbers for you. All right, now let's talk about new cars. Subaru on April 1st. This is not a joke. This is not a drill. They unveiled two new models. One is just the hybrid wilderness edition of the Forester. So it's kind of a new trim level of the Forester, but that's exciting. It's neat to see them giving the hybrid treatment, which people seem to love, with the wilderness edition. I think those two things can go hand in hand really well. You have the off-road ability and the efficiency of a hybrid. I like that. It seems to be cool. Let us know what you think in the comments. But then the fourth one that completely caught us off guard was the Getaway, which is now a seven passenger, 3-row SUV. It's kind of like an electric Ascent that's coming out as a 27 model, but they're saying it's going to be available late this year, 2026. And it's pretty wild because it's now the most powerful Subaru ever made, replaces the Trail Seeker, 420 horsepower for the Getaway. And they're saying it's a 0 to 60 time performance of sub 5 seconds. Don't have a specific number for you, but that's really, really interesting. The Ascent, by comparison, right now has a curb weight of about 4,500 pounds. The rated 0 to 60 time for the current Ascent that we could find is about 6.8 seconds, 0 to 60. So the Getaway is going to really outperform the Ascent, and it's got a really nice interior. It seems to be on the same chassis as the Toyota Highlander EV, but it has more power. What's interesting of the Subaru compared to the Toyota, the Getaway has got the same power of electric motor front and rear, whereas the Toyota has a more powerful front motor, less powerful rear motor. So, like, the Subaru is a symmetrical all-wheel drive system, whereas the Toyota is not. It also seems like Subaru has a more premium interior or more premium interior options compared to the Toyota option. I kind of like this move of Subaru into the more premium space, albeit with the EVs. It's really interesting that, especially with that partnership, that's the direction that Toyota is moving Subaru in, or allowing Subaru to move in. I kind of like them moving in this more premium direction. We don't know what the price is yet, and I think that might be a little bit of a shock, but I mean, the performance of this 3-row EV, it's interesting. It's really interesting that Subaru's moving in this direction. I've said it before, I'm going to mention it again here. I think it's worth saying or keeping track of is, with their EVs, Subaru is really resetting the bar for performance, or the performance expectation of a Subaru, but it's all with EVs, because you've got the Getaway, the Uncharted, the Solterra XT, and then the Trail Seeker. All of these are going to do 0 to 60 sub 5 seconds. The Trail Seeker, it seems like it might be close to 4 seconds flat that this thing does 0 to 60. It's pretty wild, all the performance that Subaru is offering with these EVs, and then what's going to happen with the combustion cars. How is that going to play in? It's very, very relevant, I think, with whatever's happening with the STI, this possible WRX replacement, who knows, all this stuff. It's going to be really interesting to follow, so that's where we're going to stay on top of it. Some fun pieces of news here towards the end. First, the first round of Super GT race is going to be next weekend, so keep that on your radar. We'll let you know more about that as probably as it happens or after it happens. If you have a Subaru and you like Hot Wheels, a really interesting piece of news for you. So there's the current wave of Hot Wheels, or the next wave of Hot Wheels. There's a treasure hunt car, which is like these really cool, rare, hard to find Hot Wheels. It's going to be a Subaru. So that's kind of a neat thing. I think that's the first time it's happened. So keep your eyes open for that. Probably going to be hard to find at your local Target or grocery store or whatever, but hey, if you do come across one of these things, that's going to be pretty neat. And the last thing that's really interesting, there is a new rally game that's been really popular, Assetto Corsa Rally. There's just an announcement made that they are now working with Subaru, and Subaru cars are going to start populating in Assetto Corsa Rally as well. So if you like rally driving games, you like Assetto Corsa Rally, but you wanted to be able to drive your favorite Subarus of old or current Subarus, it looks like that's coming. Subaru's going to start working with them, which is really neat. I mean, Subaru is very prominent in Gran Turismo, Forza, like all these other driving games. It's nice to see them starting to work with Assetto Corsa. It's a very popular driving game. So that's what we have for you right now for all the Subaru news going on in this world. There's been a lot of stuff going on in the shop. We're going to get to that in a different video, so stay tuned to your YouTube feed, your email, all this sort of good stuff. But did you know that we have a knowledge hub on FlatironsTuning.com? We used to call it our blog page, but we're changing it to the knowledge hub. Check it out. We've got 690 blog posts in our knowledge hub. All sorts of information. There's links to a lot of the videos that we've created, but there's a lot of just written articles, informational things there as well. So if you haven't checked out the knowledge hub, check it out. Let us know what you think. With all that being said, thanks so much for your support as always, and until next time, stay tuned to Flatirons Tuning.